Hello everyone. I just wanted to do an update on the permaculture garden that I did a video on last fall, where I laid down the compost and then threw the leaves on top of it. I'm very happy with how it's turning out. So this was done, everything planted in this garden was planted with no-till, just using the compost and the leaves as a thick mulch. So I'll turn around and give it a look at it. So for the most part, I have to give credit to my father-in-law and mother-in-law, because my mother-in-law is the one that makes sure the plants get watered, and my father-in-law is the one that's really good at trellising everything. It's amazing how well the pumpkins do trellised. I've had people say, oh, they're going to break off and die. Haven't had a problem with that happening. They actually end up growing a strong enough stem to hold it all. One that waits there, and so you can see there's plenty of pumpkins on there, different types of pumpkins. The main ones that I planted here were Sugar Pie and Big Macs. There may have been a couple of other types that my in-laws came back in and replanted on top of that. And then they have their zucchini plants and squash plants right here, and you can just see how big they're doing and how great they're doing. You have this style of zucchini, or that's a circular one. We took a couple of them, they're really delicious. And then they have their standard green zucchini, and then some yellow crooknecks up here that are starting to pop on more and more. But the plants are big, healthy, and beautiful. And the one thing that I absolutely love about it is if you cruise across the ground, no weeds. The weeds have been smothered out through the leaves and through the thick layer of compost. So they haven't had to do much to any weeding out here. Every now and then I'll see a couple that pop through, but it's not like they're spending every single day trying to make sure that this thing's weeded. The one thing that I will do again this fall is I will bring in another thing of compost it all in, and then cover it up once again with some more leaves. And hopefully that will allow more plants to grow out like this. The other thing that I may do is swap these drip lines out that we put in this year to do buried ones, so they're just completely and always buried. The nice thing about these is we can turn them on and off, so whether there's plants there or not, we can water based on that. So, and those have helped out a lot too, especially since Utah is going through a drought. We're only watering where we need it and not everywhere else as well. So they've been able to shut off some of their water usage this year as well. But my mother-in-law really appreciates it and says how much she likes it. So I thought I would give a show. These are some cucumbers. They're not doing as big as you see there, and I think part of the reason is on this side I wasn't really good at making sure there was compost and stuff laid there. But this fall, as I said, I'm going to compost this whole thing back in, about 1 inch to 2 inches deep, and then leaves on top of it. I'm hoping that this becomes the best garden in all of our gardens. So just since I'm here, this is the big tomato garden that we do with my in-laws every year. And the main fertilizer that we feed them with is my compost that I make, and they are doing great. It's actually exciting. We have some that are starting to redden up down there, but it's overall doing a really good job. The one things that aren't doing so well this year that have done better in years past are the beans. But I think we planted them too much in the shade. That's the one thing that I'm starting to come up with. And these are some potatoes that we just decided to throw on the ground and see how they do. And they look like they're doing pretty good. I was putting together the last videos that I shot out of my in-laws' house, and I realized I forgot to put in an outro. So I was really happy with how the garden turned out in the back with doing the permaculture method. So I'll put a link in the description to the video where I actually made that garden. but that was basically compost with leaves on top of it. But it's doing really well. The drip system's really helping out on keeping the plants that need the water watered and not everything else. It's keeping the weeds down, and I'm very, very happy with how it's really working out. So until next time, keep growing and keep trying. Thanks.